Hey guys, Cliff Gray here with Flat Tops Wilderness Guides and True Hunts. Today we're going to just do a short video on how to communicate with other glassers, or if you're the hunter and you're talking to your guide, or vice versa, you're the guide and you're talking to the hunter. There's always a little bit of confusion when you're glassing on actual locations of animals or structure or whatever that you both want to look at and talk about at the same time. And so I've developed a strategy of how I walk guys into game with binoculars and spotting scopes, and I'll show you how I do that. And then after I've showed you my method, Jimmy's going to jump on and show you his method, and we'll go from there. I hope you guys find it useful. It is nice to kind of have a strategy. I think you'll find if you develop one, just communication while you're glassing goes a lot quicker, and there's not as much confusion. All right. All right, guys, so my strategy when it comes to walking somebody in to game that I have into the glass is all based on usually vertical topography, right? So I'll put somebody where I know a very obvious mark that they can see even with their naked eye on a chunk of topography, like a ridge line, a snowshoe, the rock slide, something like that, where then I can go up the rock slide, get them closer to the game animal, and then go across via landmarks and put the game animal right in their field of view. So I'll go ahead and show you how I do that. So the first thing, I'm looking up here probably 1700 yards, and there's two very obvious aspens on the horizon. Do you see those, Jimmy?
Yeah.
Okay, so follow that ridge line to the left, and we're going to go through a couple other aspens. Then there's a snag of a dead aspen. You see that? And it's right where that ridge line kind of meets another ridge line. Okay? All right, so now quit following the ridge line. Instead, stay at that elevation and start going to your left. You're going to see actually a dead old conifer there.
Got it.
And then to the left of that, there's a green little patch. See that?
Yeah.
Keep going across that. You're going to get back to dry, sagebrushy spot there.
Yeah.
Okay. And then up above that sagebrush, you're going to see some more greenery, and it's got some dead aspen in it. You see that little structure there?
Yeah.
Okay. Go to the top left of that, and you're going to hit back into kind of no vegetation, little rocky stuff.
Uh-huh.
And then at that point, just go slightly to the left, slightly up. You're going to see a rock that's facing us, right? Pretty good sized rock, kind of a lighter face pointed right at us, squarish looking. See that rock?
Yep.
There's a fucking elf on top of that rock. See it?
Nope.
Alright, so there is an elf at the top of that rock, or a mountain goat, or bighorn sheep, or whatever, okay? So that's the strategy that I use. Basically, I try to use the topography to the extent I can to get somebody close. I don't have a lot of luck just looking up there and saying, hey, see that big square rock? And the reason is because, like, this is a perfect example, because Jimmy's close to me, but he's looking at it from a different angle. So he can look up there with a spotter or his binoculars, and he can see what looks like a square rock to him, okay, pretty easily. And then all of a sudden we've started completely off, right? I'm walking him into an animal that doesn't exist because he's looking at another side of the mountain potentially. So what I like to do is first start with like very obvious things like horizon lines, obvious chutes, the bottoms of chutes, that sort of thing, and then walk people in from there. Sometimes it seems tedious, but I tend to not get as much frustration with people where we get completely off, particularly this long range glassing. So that's the strategy I use. Jimmy's gonna jump in here, and he's gonna show us the way he does it, which is a little bit different than me, but just as effective. All right.
Hey guys, JimmyOswald with Flat Tops Wilderness Guides and True Hunts. I'm gonna show my glassing technique with Cliff and walk him onto an animal or a spot that I see and he doesn't. Basically, it's going to be very similar to how Cliff does it. Some slight differences. The biggest key here is making sure that you're both on the same page where to start. And biggest thing on that front is knowing what what exactly different topography stuff is. So if it's a ridge, scree field, etc. So here we go.
All right.
So you see the cliff, I'm sorry. You see the ridge line, the highest ridge line, furthest on the right before it starts dropping down, kind of towards us and to the right a little bit.
Yep. Got a couple
There's
aspens on it.
There's a big flat rock right below the skyline there. You see that?
Yep. I've got that.
So if you work the skyline to the left, you'll see, you keep scrolling across the top and you keep going, and then you're going to start hitting a handful of they look like junipers, and there's going to be a bunch of they're going to be growing out of a bunch of rock.
And I passed some live aspen on the way.
Yeah. You're going to pass one lone juniper, and then you're going to hit
Yep.
about, I don't know,
And the ridge line starts falling.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so I see the junipers in the rocks right on the horizon, right?
Yeah. And then you're going to follow the line of junipers as they continue to slowly drop elevation and work to the left.
Yep.
And then right where those junipers end, there's a smaller bare spot of white dirt.
Yep, kind of below the last juniper.
Yeah.
Scattered aspens around it.
Yeah, exactly. And then you're going to work straight back to us, and there's one lone juniper
Yep.
out in the middle of some sagebrush.
Yep. Okay.
And then go 1, 2, 3, 4 fields of view directly to the right on that same elevation, and you'll see another round juniper at the bottom of a barren dirt patch that's kind of whitish in color.
Yep. Got it.
And there's a deer there.
Yep.